Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lights, the SEL versus Great Lakes Rivalry Night, 3rd edition. And it's now down to our final two teams to determine if the SEL takes their second rivalry night or if the Great Lakes can take their first. As we tied last time, SEL won the first one. Big tiebreaker here. And I've brought in Ori to cast with me the final series of the evening. Finally, some Great Lakes representation in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Not too versed on most of these teams. Kind of recently just got brought on from the Great Lakes production, but I'm happy to be in action and happy to be casting such high-level gameplay. I am really looking forward to seeing some of the matches earlier tonight. I'm really looking forward to what these teams will bring out tonight. Kind of going in between that summer series and the fall season, maybe testing out some new players or just getting back into the swing of things.
Yep, and I think for testing out new players, that's what Buds is doing tonight. TJ kind of previewed it in the post-series talk after our last match with Rose coming in to join Monk and Buddy, and he was talking about how he may not be at the level Dylan was at just yet, the former Bud's third, but I've talked to Buddy and he's very confident about the upside of this team. And then for Nichols College, I know you're very familiar with Pyros. This is a roster that's played together a decent bit, and I think they're prepared for the upcoming season very well, which is I'm very excited about this series.
Yeah, I think what was their placement in the summer series, Nichols College?
Summer series, I don't recall. I can pull up Summer Showdown real fast for the Great Lakes, just to give you an exact figure. They competed, and I know they were around top 8. Yeah, they made top 8. They made it through Swiss and went out in the quarterfinals of that bracket.
I think that they've also qualified for CRL before, or at least have gotten really close. So yeah, this is like a higher level team, and back in the day, I'd maybe say this is a RL-RS team rival series, if any of you guys remember that, but we don't have that anymore. But CRL seems to be kind of taking up that spot where you have these players that are in just below RLCS level, maybe not breaking into main event, but getting close, and seems like Nicholas has been doing that. So we'll see, you know, what their game plan is here going into start the series off.
All right, away we go. Buds in blue, Nichols in orange. And my eyes are on the new third for Buds, obviously being the SEL guy. I'm going to say that. And Rose has already taken a ripper of a shot on target, though it is saved by Pyros, who clears the way and tries to clear it some more, forces the defense out of the way, and Complex cleans up 1-0 Nichols.
Yeah, off to a good start. You know, you saw some aggression coming out from Buds, trying to set their own pace. You don't want to get Nicholas, you don't want to let them feel comfortable, but they respond with a very quick counterattack already. 0-1 in their favor, and again, more pressure right out the kickoff from Buds, but collected calmly. The hands of the Nicholas defense still not really getting it out past the midfield pass attempt, but Monk is there. Enzo doing well not to really go full, and maybe a bit of a miscommunication in the back line, but no one on Buds really there for it. Beautiful air dribble out, finally getting it out of their own half, but they're just no boost, no one to follow. Maybe a ceiling shot attempt, tries to get it past 2, but Pyros again. You see just good patience from Nicholas. They're not really diving on anything that they don't have to. There's another counterattack opportunity. Fake attempt on the defender with low boost, but they keep it out of their net for now. Still 0-1.
Pyros is low on boost, but fuels up in the corner. He's got some space here and a couple teammates to play around, but Buds have been spacing out in the midfield fairly well. That was a close shave the last time that Nichols pieced together a counterattack. But here, it's slow goings when it comes to developing opportunities, though. That pass center, it looks decent for Nichols, but Bud's all over it. Clog the passing lane and create one of their own. That was clean.
I did not expect that shot to come out from Monk. I didn't even see him from my camera angle. That was a nice play shot, high up on the ceiling, put it just out of reach to the defender. You have to use so much boost to get that high up into the field to reach that ball, and he was already there on the wall waiting for it, tying up the game with a statement goal. And again, it's only just one best of 7. And it's good to kind of, you know, game one kind of sets the pace a little bit. You know, maybe some teams get warmed up. Maybe it's Nichols getting warmed up. Maybe it's Buds kind of getting their groove. But regardless, neither of these teams looking to have too many of those jitters that you sometimes see in game ones. Rose trying to set something up in the midfield here, but it's blocked away.
That's a nice interception. Pyros on the ball. Gonna put a shot on, maybe a dunk as well. Gets the bump. Option C ends up working out for Pyros, but Bud's all the way back in defense. Full boost tanks now as Rose clears the zone. Complex stops the counterattack that the Buds were putting together. And the ball straight up and down for Complex to collect in a 1v1. Loses out to Monk, who puts it in an open net. How about that for a swing?
Complex catches the ball. Just not quite able to stay behind it. Maybe trying to fake out the defender, but none of his teammates were in the best spot. And just not expecting that to kind of pinch all the way in their net. Catching the defense off guard, Buds are up 2-1. Maybe a response right off the kickoff, but no. Rose does well, rotates back in time. Maybe has a offensive attack here. Leaves it for his teammate. Towards the net, Pyros does well. Good 50. Leaves it for his teammate. Has a decent amount of space, but again, this low boost for the defense of Nichols. That kind of seems like they seem calm with their positioning. They're not very double committee or scrambly, but their boost is low. They seem a bit awkward. Maybe it's just trying to soak up some pressure from Buds, maybe catch them on a overcommit like we saw earlier on that counter attack. Maybe Enzo here to start one, but can't really get the ceiling double he wants. Pyros will be there to continue the attack. Enzo threatening a bump. Pyros, though, no boost. It centers middle. Complex goes for the double tap attempt off the crossbar. Pyros there to finish it off. They respond. Tied game again.
That was so close to brilliance from Complex, but it works out. And I'm sure Complex wanted the double, but won't be displeased with a nice cleanup by Pyros. And 2-2, going back and forth here. I mean, both sides have had their quality looks, and both defenses have stepped up when they need to. Here, off kickoff, Rose again, the opportunist, nearly putting a shot on target. Very much involved with their new roster, and it's looked good. Bud's solid so far, but Pyros and Nichols College looking right there with them as Complex was waiting for that ball to try and take a shot, but waited just a bit too long.
Maybe a shot here off the ceiling pass, but no, Pyros was there ready for it. And he react quick though, pops up middle, maybe dangerous, but it's 50 away just barely, and no one on Nichols to pounce on this right away. Enzo is zero boost, gets the flip reset to the corner. Complex is there, but Monk waiting patiently again. Rose now low boost this time, maybe Nichols mounting some pressure on Bud's half. Flip reset fake from Pyros, trying to get it around the defender, pops it, but just too high. Monk there to clean it up, but they still cannot get this ball out of their corner. Buddy trying to get something to go here. Big 50 pop up, not really the way that he wanted that to go. Ceiling bounce, not finding its way middle. Enzo can't get much to go. Still a tied game with low amount of time. Maybe there's an opportunity. Buddy with low boost makes the save. Enzo for the follow-up shot is blocked again. And they stay alive. The ball's still in their half. And finally, maybe no, but that's not on target.
Oh, no way. The Buds just survived all of that. And it's still going. Enzo an opportunity to end this attack for Nichols College, but it's Monk that ends up ending it himself with a clear. 20 seconds left. The last 60, I think Bud spent in defense, and they won't concede yet. Unbelievable performance on the goal line, and even now, Pyros, he's actually going to get it in. 14 seconds to go. Nichols College had so much possession, but it goes in.
It seemed that last, I mean, we still have 14 seconds left. This kickoff is still very crucial. Maybe some shenanigans happen. Kickoff strat sets a overcommit maybe from Nichols. A 1v3 temporarily, but Enzo blocks away the air dribble attempt. There's a shot coming through. Enzo stays in front. Monk shot there! And he baits out the entire defense. Shot after shot, they crumble. And we have a tie game yet again.
Unbelievable contrast of a final 2 minutes, with Nichols having 90 seconds of full pressure, only to score at the last of those seconds. And then it takes 10 for Buds at GSU to respond. Great shot by Monk, great pressure set up by Buddy and Rose, and on 0 seconds, a chance to win it! Nichols College score on 0, negate the equalizer. Monk just scored, and they take game 1.
I was about to talk about how the last 90 seconds, what you said, felt like kind of saying, you know, it wasn't what most of the game was like. Nichols actually was mostly, it felt like on defense, kind of low boost stuck in their own half. But towards the latter half of that game, they had pretty much all the pressure in the world, and then, I mean, they still end up winning the game, but they had 3 goals in the span of about 20 seconds at the end of that game. That was
insane way to end game 1. I'm hoping the rest of the series goes that way as well. But Monk, look at that. Hat trick. Plus 4 saves. And then 5 shots tossed in there. Buds combined 9 shots, but Nichols College putting up 14. Pyros scoring 2 of the 4 they found, putting up 888 points. Big display from him as well. Right now, it's the tale of the 2 stars on either side. And that's how Buds have been in the past, with Monk being the guy to lead the charge in offense. And Pyros, I think, for those that follow Nichols College, know that he is the guy still to lead the charge for them. That was the tale of game 1, at least when it came down to the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I mean, it was Pyros to initially tie the game, or get that goal off that pressure that put them up by 1, and then I think it was Complex, yeah, scored 0 seconds to keep them there. And I mean, Pyros on top of the scoreboard, as you expect, as they continue off from last game, scoring right away. Pyros with the carry, just more pressure. You just see a lot more involvement compared to most of the first game here from Nichols. Maybe they're starting to heat up a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, that was a pair of clean beats in the corner. Enzo set it up, and it was a nice beat on the goal line as well to knock the play down. Nichols with an early lead now, but Buds trying to apply some pressure themselves. Buddy's got some space here. Not a really good position of the ball for him to take full control, and so just has to give it up. Enzo with control now, takes a nice 50-50. Knew he had no boost, so used the broad side of his Fennec to get the ball away, but Rose pass back to Monk. Actually, pass to themselves, to Monk, into the back of the net. What a play by Buds.
Just a slight lapse in the defensive rotation, 2 players maybe caught up going for the same ball, kind of an awkward scenario, and just like that, they're able to set up a passing play in between 2 people. Trusting their teammate to stay upfield like that, put it right on top of his car, bar down and in. Bud's beautiful response to the little team play of their own.
Monk's got the on-ball ability. If you put it in his direction, he'll make good things happen. And Rose may not have been with this roster for very long, but they obviously know that Monk can do magical things on the ball. But now, can he get out of this 3v1, essentially? Complex made it a 1v1. Monk was able to get out, get some help from Buddy. Pyros, upon the attempted clear by Buds, takes over the play. He can't do much else. The ball is stuck on the sideline. So Monk clears it away, puts it on a slightly open net, and Pyros is back in time to save.
Yeah, and you were talking about Pyros earlier. I think last game he finished that game with 800 points, and I think the only person that had in the same league was Monk, and I'm pretty sure combined they had more points than everybody else in the lobby combined. So these 2 players are just playing at such a high level. It just seems that whichever one of them maybe is doing the most in that game will probably come out on top. Even though it felt like Nichols maybe had that game down, it was still down to the last second and then some at 0 before we had a winner in that game. So good bump play, but Complex not able to finish it off. Enzo trying to start something here for Nichols. Trying to look to keep up that pressure. Pyros not letting it get past his midfield line. Drops it down. Nobody there. Maybe a counterattack, but no, it's saved away. Cleared. But again, just still not a lot of breathing room for Nichols. Having maybe a little bit of problems clearing this out. A bit awkward on the goal line. There's a shot, but no, it's saved away.
Well, Buddy tried to fake challenge Enzo, but Enzo plays patient. He's able to flick on target. It's high. Monk will keep it high as well. Or Pyros rather, look to follow up. That challenge is taken up into the air. Buds find a counterattack. The two commit for. Buddy and Monk both going for the same ball. And now it's up to Rose to kind of salvage possession for the Buds at GSU. And they do very, very well, keeping the play in the corner, which both teams are fighting over the ball in this same corner. Looks like Nichols have some space by way of Pyros. What's new? A demo up in front, attempted, but doesn't matter. It zones Buddy off the play, and Pyros finishes what Enzo set up for him.
I was about to comment on this before this even happened, but it seems that Nichols are a lot more comfortable catching and dribbling the ball. I haven't seen these kind of slower, more patient dribble 1v1-esque plays coming out from Buds, but as I was about to say that, there's Pyros, takes it slow in his corner, fakes out a defender, does well to time the flicker on the last one, and almost 1v3s their entire team with the help of Enzo on the demo attempt. They just seem a lot more comfortable, a lot more aware of when to control. They trust their mechanics just a little bit more than Buds, and Buds are seeming to try to play everything fast. Kind of two sides of the same coin. Just seems that whichever one's playing their side better seems to be having advantageous spots. There's Pyros to the dribble again, gets it past one, almost fakes it on the defender again. That was almost back-to-back solo plays from Pyros, but not to be. They do keep their 1-goal lead. Maybe as long as this attack happens, that was dangerous out in front, but nobody there to finish off the shot.
Oh, and Complex plays the ball off of Buddy, and then through Monk as well, who bumps Rose. It's awkward for Buds. Complex forced a lot of that, but they still find a way-ish out. Complex, a nice dunk, keeps Nichols in the driver's seat. Enzo is going to drive them right into a third goal. 3-1, Nichols taking over in game 2.
That's just an awkward scenario on the wall, kind of floating just out of reach for, I think that was Monk. I think he wanted to catch that and then flip it, maybe pop it into an air dribble, but it's just slightly out of reach, and maybe his team expecting him to get more than one touch there left it, and awkward scenario in front of the net. Nicholas capitalized maybe right again off the kickoff air dribble bump attempt. Blocked away. Buddy trying to pass it middle. They're going to need a goal here soon if they want a chance to stay alive in this game. Monk advancing, but just not enough boost in the tank. Pyros has to clear down to his teammate. Shot attempt. Rose is there. Beats the dunk attempt. Now maybe a bit of an overcommit. Numbers advantage in favor of GCU. They shoot it right at Pyros on the backboard, though. That will not be, but they still have some offense. Pass out in front. Rose is there to finish. Rose making it only a 1-goal game.
I love this field vision right here for Monk. He takes over in the corner. There are 2 orange cars to split between. And instead of trying to dish it in and get through Pyros on the near side, he realizes he has an easy way out of the situation by just popping it mid for Rose. And Rose is right there in a great position as well. And Bud's now having a go at this late game comeback. After the end of game 1, I could very well see Bud's coming back here and then losing their lead and then maybe coming back again.
But maybe it's just enough to tie the game. That was an opportunity maybe if that was on target. Low boost on the side of Nicholas here on defense. Both Enzo and Pyros 0. They do manage to keep the ball out of their net for the last remaining seconds of the game, which is all they really have to do. Maybe Monk on this air dribble attempt tries to get it around Complex, but he can't stay next to the ball. 0 seconds now. We saw it in game 1. Will it happen in game 2? It stays up. Rose doesn't have the resources to reach that ball again, and Nicholas, by their skin of their teeth, win game 2.
All right. I mean, still, late game heroics. I don't think any lead is safe at this point in this series so far. Super close there, but Nichols finding a way to win close games so far in this best of 7. 9 shots to 10, 3 to 2. Saves were about even as well. I mean, Buds and Nichols are maybe the closest matchup we've had tonight, maybe save for Texas and Indiana Tech. But so far, 2-game lead for Nichols. They have found ways to win the close games, and now they've got a bit of a buffer to work with as their reward.
It's interesting because you could have a series like this end 0-4.
Yeah.
But it would never feel like a sweep. All of these games have come down to the final seconds, and it could have gone either way each time, but I've always been told that good teams always find a way to win, and if you're always winning, even if it's by just a hair's length, 4-0 is 4-0. Maybe not to be here. Buds getting off on a strong foot like they did in game 1, 1-0 right away, but this is the problem with these early game leads. Now you have basically an entire game left to play still. Still a 1-goal lead for them, though.
Oh, yeah. I bet they'll take the 1-goal lead for sure. And it's so strange as Buddy tried to make it too, that Rose has won the opening kickoff in one way or another in every game so far. Odd pattern, I'll get back to it later, as Nichols College has just responded immediately. It's Enzo set up by a bad touch by Monk. He tried to win the race to the side wall and ends up setting up his opponent for an equalizer.
I think maybe he was expecting, just trying to buy time for maybe a teammate to get behind him, but I think they were kind of all just stranded out with no boost, not really able to get back in the play quick enough. Rose, maybe on the offensive. Can't go get anything. Pyros is right there. That's a big bane out. Maybe he gets the beat on the defender on the backboard, but no. That's actually a pass out in front of Rose can get to it, just barely can't. Monk is there to follow. Can't get the double off the corner. Now an opportunity for Nicholas. They bang it downfield. Pyros there. So back and forth for both of these teams using every inch of the field. That was almost disastrous for Buds there. Lose that 1-goal lead so quickly, but kept away off their goal line. There's another passing play opportunity. Pyro slots it top left. Nicholas, again, just kind of back how we've been seeing them for this series.
Nicely done. Complex and Pyros again combining with a nice passing play. And the placement on that shot as well is pristine. It's not fast, but it's accurate. That's all that Pyros needed right there. And it gives Nichols another lead. Or not another lead in this game, I suppose. They've claimed their first lead here. Pyros adds to it.
Goodness.
What a play off the ceiling again. The superstar for Nichols College comes up huge.
That touch when he jumped off, the single jump off the ceiling to touch it down to the backboard around the defender that was free jumping him. He needed to time that and touch that basically perfectly to get that double tap, and he did. And at that point, there's only so much you can do on the defense when the person on the ceiling has that much control over the ball. You just have to pick a shot and you have to block off an angle. And Pyros, despite what was a good pre-jump, gets it around the defender, makes it a 2-goal lead, which is what is really important about that big statement goal. And when you get those mechanical outplays, it's such a momentum swing for the series in general, regardless of the scoreline, to just get that monstrous goal is such a good boost to your mental, and on the other side, it's just so frustrating to go up against it.
And to feel confident enough to talk in chat as well after scoring that. And Pyros, that will likely be a Twitter clip for me. Thank you very much. 1v1, Complex, putting Rose into a tough spot, but they make the save. Enzo sets up the third man, and Pyros steps up to finish the playoff. 4-1, and we're only 2 minutes in, not even.
Yeah, hat trick already for Pyros. We still have way over half the game left, so you know, maybe they'll try to widen this scoreline gap. Maybe we see a comeback from Buds. Maybe they just try to play a little bit more passive, keep it 1-4. Maybe not with kickoffs like that. Pickoff strategy not really going to as planned. Pyros on the ball again. Maybe another goal, but no, he will not be brought to 4. Saved away by Monk. And yeah, I think it's just damage control right now for Buds in this game. Already down so much off of amazing plays from not just Pyros, but their team in general. Maybe just trying to recover the mental, trying to keep themselves in a good headspace. Enzo making it 5-1.
This is looking rough. I think right now my statement in between games 2 and 3 that no lead is safe in this series might be being tested just a little bit at the moment. There is more than half a game left to play, so in theory, the Buds can come back here, but Nichols are making it as difficult as possible with just brilliant play after brilliant play. Pyros supplying us an impressive display of mechanics. Enzo and Complex getting in on the action as well at times. And, I mean, Game 3 is theirs. They would honestly have to throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen with this much time left. You know, maybe all Buds need to do is just break through that defensive line, get a goal, maybe a mechanical goal of their own, and things can change. And it has to be tilting to be losing this bad in Game 3, where if they do lose, they're going to have to go up against a reverse sweep against Nichols, which I don't really think any team is going to feel comfortable in. But the games that they lost were not without, they were within their arm's reach 1,000,000%. Yep. They lost to a 0-second goal in Game 1 and in Game 2. Had an opportunity to score one of their own, but they just weren't able to put it away. They had the game tied with 7 seconds left, and it just slipped through their fingers multiple times. And maybe that's just been the small edge that Nichols has had. I think maybe just with the experience of Pyros, who's been in, you know, clutch scenarios so many times, is able to keep his team calm and comms, keep his nerves collected, and I think that might have been... It's just all the little things in this game just add up, and I think that might have been one of the little things.
Well, it's a big thing in Game 3.
Yeah,
5-1, 4-goal lead for Buds to surmount, and at the moment, they've had chances, just kind of half chances, not really good, but there if they can really execute on them. That one was a pretty decent one. Enzo fired a missile that Nick was able to save, and the Buds' credit, they have been able to make difficult saves at times. Unfortunately, just gave up way too much possession, pressure, and opportunities for Nichols. 14 shots in the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Nichols add on to it, especially with a double commit out of Buds in the midfield. But he actually salvaged the play fairly nicely.
And maybe it's Pyros again. Nope, goes missing. Won't matter too much here. Not much time left. You know, anything can happen, but with Nichols having the ball possession right now, not a lot of boosts to go around the team of Buds. Starting out from their own corner. 15 seconds and 4 goals. Maybe not quite it. Maybe they get a consolation one here. Top right, that's not on target. Pyros gonna get hit out. Rose will get the touch. Pass blocked away. And they just cannot get anything to go. They're throwing everything that they have, all their players at the ball. They cannot even get a shot for their efforts. Nichols, that was a very big statement win in Game 3. Setting themselves up to potentially sweep Buds. And, I mean, that's kind of the confidence maybe that you want for Nichols going into the fall season. And for Buds, maybe you said they had some roster changes. Maybe they can look at some of these games in this series as replay reviews and use that to figure out maybe some kinks that they have as a team.
Well, I'd hope so. That's what these show matches are for, and Buzz I don't think are out of it just yet. As we've been talking about, games 1 and 2 extremely close. Came down to final 10-second plays in both of them, and that one was a bit of a wash. So you have games like those, but how you recover from them. Going into Game 4, Buds have to recover now, as Nichols, by way of Pyros a lot of the time, he has flexed his mechanical muscles a lot in this series, and Complex and Enzo play very well around Pyros. I have to give them all the credit that they're due, but Buds have to find a way to shut down Pyros. If they do that, there is absolutely a chance for them to find a way back in this best of 7. But at the moment, still struggling a bit, but this should be an open net. Never mind, the ramp had other ideas.
Yeah, sometimes that fourth defender goes a long way, but you say shut down Pyros as if that's going to be easy, and as we've seen, even in scenarios where he's in a 1v3, it doesn't seem like that they're ever in a comfortable spot whenever he's on the ball. So far, has been quiet, although we did just start. Only just barely over a minute gone by. There's Monk with a solo play of his own. Pyros is not the only person in the lobby that has mechanical skill. Monk showing signs of life for Buds, and they really did need a goal like this in this Game 4.
I wouldn't mind this turning into, like, the Monk-led Buds versus the Pyros-led Nichols show. Like, that's what it was in Game 1, essentially. And since then, that rivalry narrative has kind of dissipated a bit as Rose sets up Monk for a second, and all right, just like that, Monk has infused this team with the first goal. Rose kind of infused that second one, but either way, Monk's 100% goal participation has helped Buds claim a 2-goal lead.
And here we go, maybe a game win for Buds in the horizon. They've always had these early game leads, though, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure every single game this series so far, obviously they've lost, they've had the lead to start out the game with, whether it was 1 or 2 goals, and they always got off to such an early start, first minute, and they just weren't able to hold on to it. Maybe they try to change up their game plan a little bit, maybe play a little bit more safe when they do have this kind of lead, and with Rocket League, your opponent has to do something to score. You can be patient, and Nichols they're gonna have to get risky if you want to go up and even tie this game. It's not just a 1-goal game where, again, it only takes 1 chance. You need 2. So maybe we see something where they're just trying to kind of secure a game here. Maybe they stay tenacious and widen the lead, but regardless, starting off on the right foot.
Well, more pressure to add on to that correct foot forward, though. It's going to be countered by an extreme double commit. Buddy and Rose still working out some of the rotational kinks, it seems, and well, Enzo was all over that play.
The entire lobby. I think the entire lobby was up for that ball. Wow. From what I saw, that was a bit silly.
Well, fair enough. That's a 2-1. Buds leads still, but Nichols College will cut in to that lead that the Buds gained very early on. And Mr. Pyro J, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, Jake. I appreciate you. Welcome in, everybody, coming from Pyro J's stream. This is Tuesday Night Lights, the brother of Monday Night Lights, if you've ever come through on a Pyro raid before on a Monday evening. It's collegiate show matches. This is the Southeastern Esports League versus the Great Lakes CRL Conference. So, North versus South, essentially here. Final series of the night, Nichols College in a handy position to close out this series, but Buds with a lead at the halfway point of Game 4. We'll see if they can add on to it here.
Got attempt maybe. No, it saved away Monk. The first one on that ball. Huge for his team. Nobody was there if that was shot on target. Big pinch out. Huge open pocket in the field here. Foot race to it. Complex is up first. Buddy there thankfully on the back line not to let this game get out of hand, as it's happened time and time again for them. They're just not able to hold on to these leads. Pyros goes under one. Maybe bumps the last defender. Enzo's there for the shot. Enzo puts it away, and who is it but Pyros again? I don't know how many times I've had to say his name tonight. He just seems to be creating so much for this team, whether it be offense, defense, passing, what have you. He has been there when his team needed him the most.
It is a sin that Rocket League didn't count that as an assist for Pyros. I'm just going to say it. The Rocket League game client needs to personally apologize for that, as he deserved the assist points for that play. Incredible work to get Nichols College level. And with under 2 minutes left to play, we're heating up again. I'm feeling the rumblings of Game 1 and 2, where we saw so many goals in the final couple of minutes. And Enzo, of course, will provide again.
That is a nasty angle. He had to hit it around the defender as well. Getting a hand up didn't matter. And now Nicholas, 3 straight to respond to Buds scoring 2 right off the gate. And like I said, they seem to be getting these early game leads, but they're just not able to keep up with the momentum of Nicholas. It just seems as soon as Nicholas take that lid off, it's just a, when it rains it pours. And right now, Buds are drowning. And they don't have any oxygen left after this game. It's over.
All right, and it's been the middle of the game as well. Like you said, that has been a struggle for Buds. They win the early games, and then the middle of the game, and, well, the late game as well, I think, has escaped them with the 0 seconds, final 10-second plays out of Nichols. And right here, maybe final 60. Buddy, though, on the back wall, going to get back to the play in time to prevent Nichols from adding another to their beginning to grow lead. Enzo, pass down. Rose dumped by Pyros. And Nichols College get one step closer to putting this series to bed.
They're shutting the door on their foot right now. It's not fully closed. There's a crack, but it's getting smaller and smaller. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting farther and farther away for Buds. They were up in this game 2-0, and again 4 straight, maybe 5, but no, that saved away. They actually have a lot of space here, but that, oh my goodness, this corner bounce. These corner bounces for them have just not been in their favor. That's about the 3rd time I can think of in just this game where they had a wide open net if that ball had just bounced it over them.
Unfortunate. Sometimes these kinds of series just don't go your way, and Nichols College have outplayed Buds at times, but so close, so often, and Nichols College just knew how to win in those clutch moments, in those tight quarters plays, and Pyros knows how to create space. Buddy's going to take it away, get the ball to Monkney, Rose to the back wall, and nothing's there. Buds have to find something here, and that you felt kind of had to be it. Nichols College will sweep the Buds at Georgia State. Enzo will add one for the road, and the Great Lakes beat the SEL for the first time in an SEL versus Great Lakes rivalry night.
Yeah, and it was going to come down to game differential as well, I'm pretty sure, if Nicholas won. So the fact that they swept is, that's really good when you're trying to go win by game differential like that. And I called it in game 2. You have these closer games. It can still be a sweep, but at the end of the day, the series score and the game differential is not going to care if it was 1-goal games or 5-goal games. The sweep's a sweep.
Exactly, and it was. And Nichols College, they bring out the brooms, and they unfortunately end the stream a little early. I was hoping we'd go a little bit longer, but
that raid yeah. Well, you guys caught the tail end of the series, but
that's all right. I know the Pyro J viewers will be back at some point. We'll pass the raid along after this series is done. And Brave, here's to make up for all the postures and hydrates and everything that you threw my way at the beginning of the series. Cheers, you deserved it. Great Lakes, they win for the first time in the rivalry night. And Ori, I mean, your first time on Tuesday Night Lights, you get to experience a Great Lakes win.
Yeah, I feel proud for, the Great Lakes College to be able to win in these show matches. Obviously, I participated a lot in Nichols winning. I was their cheerleader, even though they could not hear me. I was there in spirit.
There in spirit, absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to move on along. I'm going to raid Frontal Pandas live, so I'm going to toss him a raid. Make sure you go support like you did tonight. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Tuesday Night Lights this Saturday. Please tune into the MrBepic stream for the first high school showcase. We're taking Tuesday Night Lights to the high school realm. So tune in for that. It's going to be a very, very fun evening. More information to come about that later in the week. And then next Tuesday again, Tuesday Night Lights, will be back on the Bepic stream. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all my wonderful production crew tonight. All right, thanks for joining me for our final series of the evening. All the players for playing and all the viewers for watching. I'm MrBepic. I'll see you later. Peace out.